Hello, hello. All right, so Aquarians, welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump on into a storytelling for you guys. I have this deck in my hands, but I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. I want a different deck, I think. I'm going to go with this one. All right, so let's just see. Um, I We'll see where this one takes us. We have motion, which is air, card 22. And we have richness, marine life, card 32. Well, anytime we talk about something like marine life, hey, EM, hey, Rach, good to see you. Um, Marine life is under the sea, right? It takes us into our emotions. But we have air and water. So, Aquarius, we got a blend. We've got, you know, the wind that goes across the ocean surface creates big old waves. I'm wondering if, and that's literally that air card is associated with motion, but instead we've got all of the horses coming in, and there's a wonderful painting called, I think, like Neptune's horses or something. Um, it's a very old painting, but it's like the images of the sea, but the froth from the ocean wave is the galloping horses belonging to Neptune, god of the sea. Um, it's a really beautiful painting. There's several versions of it, but I think that there's something here about whipping up emotions through conversation, through thoughts, thinking through things, letting thoughts and conversation lead us not into like a flurry of, oh my God, this is so stressful now, let's just avoid stressful conversations. But no, that's where we get to deep dive and get to know somebody really well, is when we ask the tough questions, when we sit down and we really, just sit down and wrap it out, chit chat, let there be like free flowing conversation. Feel like whatever somebody wants to say, whether we agree or disagree with them, we let them speak. We contemplate their perspective. We get to know them at a deeper level. That adds that richness into like getting to know someone's truer emotions, getting to know where they came from, getting to know why. It's not enough just to know that somebody, whatever, likes spumoni ice cream. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe they're, I always think of spumoni ice cream as being like a more of an Italian thing. I don't know if this is like, find out somebody comes from Sicily, find out about their background, find out about, what their life was like. You get it's like you get a chance to sink into someone's life a little bit by really asking the questions that stir things up. So it does require being willing to go out on the ocean and be willing to risk churning up some waves, because that's really how we get to the good stuff sometimes, right? Safe conversation doesn't really get any deeper than the surface. And I think, I'm wondering if this Aquarius is like very okay with that, if they're very comfortable with saying, yeah, I want to get to know somebody. I don't, see, Three of Swords. I want to get to know what hurt them. Not to pry, but to get to know them at a deeper level. Is Aquarius dealing with someone, or does somebody want to get to know Aquarius? Is Aquarius the one walking, they're one of the walking wounded? Oh, see, we got a Six of Cups. It's a soulmate energy. It doesn't matter if somebody says it or not. Soulmates are going to feel that in each other. They're going to recognize a kindred spirit, and they're going to say, oh, I'm drawn to you because I can feel like that energy coming off of you. I bet you anything I can spot it a mile away because, my heart has felt the same way before. What was it that broke yours? I feel like this is two people who probably have a heck of a lot in common. And I do think that, I still don't know if it's Aquarius who is asking someone a point blank question, giving somebody an eyeball and being like, so you're attractive, you're nice, you're intelligent, and you're single. Who broke your heart? Because, baby, I can tell there's no way you're on the market unless somebody did you dirty and left you high and dry, because you are way too fine and catch to not have somebody. It's either Aquarius is the one about ready to just call it like they see it with someone, Ask that question, ask the big question, the rude question even, but the real question. Like, tell me what happened, because I can already see that there's something, something that must have hurt you. It's either that somebody wants to say that to Aquarius, or Aquarius is going to say that to somebody else. I think I like the upfront attitude of this, the not shying away from the difficult conversation, not trying to push on a bruise and make somebody hurt, but rather saying it in a way that would lift them up, make them feel seen, let them know they're not the only one who's encountered something like that. I don't know, maybe this person says, "Oh, I can I can see that look. I know that look. You probably haven't slept very good in a few days because you've been up crying, huh? I did that for about 3 weeks when, somebody broke my heart." It may just be that character just walks right up and says it. They just go ahead and they call it out. We got the Temperance. We got the Knight of Wands sideways. Yeah, this is definitely, as weird as this message sounds, because it feels kind of abrupt. It kind of feels like it could be taken as impolite or insensitive. And I'm like, to me, this comes across like somebody who's doing the exact right thing. They're letting somebody know, you don't have to hide it from me. I've been there too. And when we put it together with this Temperance card, Sag energy, it's like, oh my God, it's such a safe space, because two people are going to be able to vibe. They're going to be able to recognize, like, you get it. You can see this. You understand, like, where I've been, where I'm at, what I'm going through. You mean I don't have to hide anything from you? That feels really balanced. It feels also, it's not a threat. It's not like, um, if somebody is walking up to another person because they're interested in them, because they are attractive, they're still not coming up to be like, it's not like a sleazeball cheeseball, let me hit on you by giving this line about, like, I can tell you've been brokenhearted, baby, come let Dr. Feelgood fix you up, or whatever that is. It's not that at all, and it's going to come across that way, like sincere, because this isn't like, hey, let's just cling together, crash into each other while we're still brokenhearted, and it won't mean anything more than just one night of random comforts from strangers. That's not what this is about at all. The way this is being approached, so real, so honest, and not with that like overtly sexy undertone, but rather with this, like, my soul sees yours. I think that that's a much more mature and heartfelt way to approach something, and still be super real and super, like, this is definitely an expedited way to get to know somebody, because it is talking about the elephant right there in the room right away, but it's without the edge of, I'm only coming towards you to flirt and offer you, like, some physical comfort. It's a really sincere, like, spiritual kind of comfort. Now, there may be a an interest in having a physical relationship as well, but this begins at a much more soul recognition level, and it would, because it's Six of Cups. This can be a returning soulmate, but it doesn't mean that they've ever met each other. We've got the Hierophant. Oh, then again, let's just put it this way. These two have been in the same classroom. They have gone through the same, like, the hard knocks of life. They have lived some of the same lessons. And in truth, this could be two people that could have a really wonderful life together. They might get married later on, but it doesn't begin that way. It begins with recognizing someone who's actually been really brokenhearted, because our other character has been there too. I'm still not sure which one is Aquarius. All I can say is that to have two people that, like, the universe has maybe said, all right, y'all are going to bump into each other now, because you've both gone through enough to understand the same lessons. Even if you didn't teach it to each other, you have a chance to meet each other, and you'll be in a really good place. It's like, like the kids that we go through grade school with. You're all supposed to kind of be at the same level of, a range anyway, so that the material isn't above nor beneath anybody's head, so that everybody can learn together, like, as a group, and struggle together and succeed together and all of that. And so they kind of, put you in first grade, second grade, third grade, all that. I feel like that's exactly, the universe is saying it's the right time for these two to meet because they've already gone through the tough lessons. They're in the same class now. They're it's just now the right time. Now with the 6 of Cups, this could be that these two knew each other once upon a time, but, and this, okay, this is going to sound weird because I never want to make it sound like, well, somebody needed to go through the ringer and have their heart broken and crushed and stepped on so then they could learn the tough lessons in life and then they could be ready to come back together. I don't want to make it sound like that, but I will say this. Maybe these two knew each other 15 years prior, and one was maybe a little bit more evolved or more sensitive. The other person hadn't really experienced heartbreaks or losses yet. And heartbreaks and losses, I think they crack a heart open, and sometimes that makes somebody more empathic and it helps them to learn and grow, and it helps them to even kind of like reach into that deeper part of themselves, because it takes a lot of resilience to heal from things and it changes us. And I wonder if this is the right time for these two to come together because they finally are in the same classroom. They're finally at the same evolutionary place in their soul's journey. And so it might be, maybe they did know each other back years ago and they're just now, one has just gone through some really tough stuff, but it might just now be the time where they can really speak the same language. So it could be that as well. Maybe these two had a chance to meet each other in the past and they would not have been good together back then. Something had to shift, something had to change, and unfortunately was that somebody had to learn, maybe through their own difficult, see, 9 of Swords, they had to learn what real stresses felt like, so that they could be on the same vibrational level as somebody else who's already gone through some of those tough lessons. I'm sorry to say that it, because I don't like stories where it's like, oh, well, they needed to suffer. I'm not into martyrdom at all. I think I don't believe in that kind of stuff at all. But I do think life happens to us and it changes us. And hopefully throughout the difficulties, we always, find a way to rise back up to the top. And then it makes us look at other people with more compassion. That's maybe the biggest message here. But there was some real stress that a character went through before they could maybe be able to, look at this 10 of Wands in the reverse, before they could maybe get out of their own way and become a more compassionate person. And I want to say that if Aquarius is bumping into this person years later and they're seeing, oh, they went through something, they learned a lesson, I can spot that. Maybe they look a little shell-shocked. Maybe they look like someone where it's like, I might have learned the lesson 15 years prior to you, but I can see you've gone through something awful, something that has changed you. And I can see that on one hand, I'm sorry that you had to go through it, but I can tell that you understand some part of life that you didn't understand as clearly as you do now. And I think if they simply are being accepted as a soulmate, as an equal by Aquarius in what seems to be one of their darkest moments, they went through something really hard, but Aquarius is not saying, well, it's about time you got humbled. No, Aquarius is just like, oh, I've been there, and offering that kind of like camaraderie and that kind of support. It almost feels like it's like somebody throwing them a lifeline. It's like Aquarius is offering them this beautiful opportunity to be seen and understood and even kind of like inducted into the Survivors Club. Yes, life can suck badly and horrible things happen. And we have to find that resilience, and it takes a lot of strength, and it takes leaning on each other. But you're kind of like among friends, and I feel like that's the vibe Aquarius might be putting out to this person, and it's really helping them drop some of this hurt, some of this pain, to be accepted into, I'll call it the Survivors Club. And just to be seen and to be understood by Aquarius seems to be a very big gift. Boy, I have not had a storytelling like this before. The Tower. The Tower is always still one of my favorite cards because the Tower is what frees us. It's when things have been too confining, thoughts have been too confining, thinking that life only operates in one plane, when in reality, at the same point in human history, people can live very different stratas of life, way more difficult, way more luxurious. And it's like until you've walked in someone else's strata, you don't even know how different things can be. So this is like it breaks open somebody's mind, somebody's heart. It lets them see things differently, and there's this really wonderful, freeing energy. It allows people to have a fresh start. It's allowing characters to maybe begin from the ground up and build something together. I really feel like this is a chance for Aquarius and this person to possibly have a very wonderful bond that can be built because they're now on the same level. They're they've learned this character has learned something. I don't know. It feels like this is a wonderful match, but ironically, it's after someone has gone through something very heartbreaking, very strenuous, very difficult, and yet it's almost like they're about to walk into some of the best years of their life, and the best years of their life because Aquarius is a part of their life now. This is it's a very supportive message. It's a very loving message, and it's a very strong message of coming through the other side. So either somebody is doing this for Aquarius, or Aquarius is doing this for somebody else. The bottom line is it's coming through the hardest chapters of life and actually finding that life is brighter than it will ever was prior to those difficult chapters. So super positive message on this one. You guys, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love to everybody. Rusty Moss, good to see you. Love your name. Sherry Marshall, hello, sweetheart. Deronda, hi. Set a fire in my soul. I'm delighted that you were here again. Light, light, light. That's awesome. I love it. Hi, Mervelyn. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Nomad Hawk, great to see you, sweetie. Bye, EM. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.